Hey, Rob Brinded here. I'm going to be talking about how to dissolve fear in this video. So you better, if you're fearful or anxious, you're going to be wanting to do this. Um, so I was at Euro Disney with my family, just came back, just getting over it as it's exhausting. Um, it's like a huge conveyor belt of people trying to take your money. Like everywhere you move, even now meeting Mickey Mouse's, you have to pay. So it was pretty hard on the senses. Kids love it, but it was brutal for me. Um, and while I was there on the first day, my daughter Lima said to me, "Daddy, I'd like to go on a roller coaster with you," and that triggered fear in me, like a really strong. And I said to her, "Maybe, maybe," and kind of fobbed her off, which isn't taking responsibility. You should, yes or no, but not just pushing it away isn't something that I want to be doing as a man. And it made me think, why don't I want to do the roller coaster, and why am I so fearful of, so it's really being unable and out of control. You're going up and down the loops and stuff, and it petrified me. Even now as a man, I don't want to do it. But I kept an eye on that. I was like, that imprisons me, that fear. Logically it doesn't make sense. It's almost like a phobia. So on the next day, my daughter came up to me again and said, "Daddy, I want to do a roller coaster with you." And in that moment, I went into admin mode, which I explain in my book, Glitch. And I moved into admin mode and watched my behavior, and realizing that, that is my child's programming coming up. So if it's child's programming, it was based from a child who just needed to be picked up. So I picked up, little Rob, and in that moment I said yes, and I said yes, but there wasn't like a huge fear because I was dealing with the glitchy coding, right? That was running probably around unable, able, hamster wheel. I talk about it in my book and explain everything. And so she shoots off. I follow her to this space mountain, hypersonic or something, and it's like doing that and this at high speeds. And I calmly walked over there, and then the lady said, "Oh, it's just broken." Now, nothing happens by coincidence. It was. I knew deep down there's a reason why this suddenly is broken, when my daughter had already done it 3 times in the morning. So we walked away, and my daughter's like, "Oh, I really want to do a roller coaster with you." And I said, "Yeah," but I was a bit disappointed. So that's a complete change in my behavior. Then I said, "Let's go do Marvel something or other, like an Iron Man type thing," which I thought was like a VR type experience. So not a roller coaster. So we go there. It's not a long wait, and we go through the queue. It's getting dark, and they've got Iron Man everywhere. And then I see that there's a roller coaster type ride. So I was like, "Oh, that's strange." But maybe it's like a VR thing that you move through. And as I move, I see this, the carriages come around to be next to me, and I could see through the glass. And I heard Iron Man countdown, 3, 2, 1. And then that roller coaster just flies, just shoots. It accelerates away. And then I realized, I'm like, here we go. Here's this test. It was always going to happen when I stepped into admin mode, but I was able. But it's safe in admin mode. It's like you're not running the code that makes you scared. So I just was like, okay, here we go. And there's this big video saying, if you have bad back, if you have heart problems, you must get off now. And you can see the fear building in everyone. And my daughter is getting scared. Everyone's getting scared. I'm just completely unfazed. So it's our turn. I go in, My daughter says, I want to go with this lady that we're with, probably because she thinks I'm scared and she needs to be someone with someone's not. I wasn't. I got into the car. I noticed that my hands and my legs were trembling. So my body was responding quite naturally to what was happening, but there was no fear. We go around the corner, and then I'm in that position where we're about to shoot. And Iron Man goes, okay, let's get ready to tackle the baddies. 3, 2, 1. And my body's preparing, but there's no fear. And I go at a speed. It's 0 to 95 kilometers in 2-3 seconds. It's a feeling I've never experienced before. I've driven in high performance cars with footballers who are crazy, and you get that acceleration, but this was beyond anything. And we do loop, we go loop, 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 loop. And there's this bit that you fall, and my eyes were closed for some of it, but towards the end I open them and I'm going, yes, yes, like really experiencing the ride. And we come to the end. I get off, my legs and my hands are trembling, but I step out of that realizing that I'm no longer controlled by my fear, because it wasn't my fear. It was early conditioned coding or scripts that are running me. So when you realize that, you can change your whole reality. And I'm not just saying that. I'm saying, yes, these glitchy programs make you suffer, so you can just dissolve them. So it changes how you experience everything. But then your reality changes. I've had many, many clients tell me stories that just absolutely crazy about how their actual reality changes, how people change, how suddenly money comes in, or a person changes and becomes, super nice. It's amazing. There's no separation when you do this well. There's no separation. You are creating your own reality through your coding. So I wanted to tell you that story as like it took away my fear for the roller coaster, but it's so much more than that. But as a practical example, it was amazing and it blew me away. I could have gotten another roller coaster. We didn't, because the queues were too long in the end, but super liberating. And that applies to anything where you have fear or anxiety. If you step into admin mode and you understand that it's not your programming, absolutely transforms you and your life. If you'd like to know how to do that, get my book. It's on Kindle, Amazon. There'll be a link underneath here, or you can go to my site, glitchthebook.co/quiz. There's a free quiz there where you can do that, and you can find out which side of the hamster wheel you are. But on Kindle, I mean, it's like $10, and you can absolutely transform your life for that. I don't make any money on the books. I want that work out there because we need it so badly in these times that we're living in. So if you can always connect with me. I have an email that I write every day now explaining how to do this stuff. So if you want to join my email list, it's at robbrinded.com. And there, I write, as I said, every morning in the morning, I send out an awesome email. So any comments, please post them underneath and I'll get straight back to you. And thanks so much for listening.